I forgot to not loop. What would the year be closing out without me screwing up an intro to the Brunch Gimmick? At least that wasn't as egregious as like it's been before, where I've forgotten to unmute us or streamed to Love Sports CA, that very wildly popular channel we've had. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good whatever it may be. Happy Christmas Eve, happy holidays. I hope that you guys are all enjoying your Crimbus, your Festivus season. I enjoyed a good Festivus yesterday. How was your Festivus? Any major grievances?
Nope. I slept and did chores.
Fine. What a day.
My only grievance is the Canadian border turning away hardworking independent wrestlers who were coming up for a show this weekend. Bunch of people got the old get the fuck out of Canada. Oh, sorry, Zach.
I was saying boo earns. If you guys are tuned in, Zach, I know that Mike may have just given you a reason to dislike this video, but if you're here, throw us a like. We're aiming for 12. One for every day of Christmas. I figure that that's an appropriate little goal. We're going to be tuning into some T.Y. Jackson versus Travis Williams from last month. Of course, that's available here on youtube.com/Love Wrestling CA. But if you head over to Independent Wrestling TV, IWTV, subscribe, because not only is Love Wrestling there, all of our future events are going to be heading there starting in 2024. But we're starting to get some of our old content uploaded in the next couple of days. LPW 19 is going to be up there. We've got LPW 20 and 21 already there. And as a nice little bonus, we threw you LPW CWS number 9, normally a Patreon exclusive. But we're tuned in here for the Brunch Gimmick today, recapping and I say this in the best of ways, very, very loosely, all the weekend wrestling news, because I got to be honest with you, 11 days ago, the Pokemon Indigo Disc DLC came out. So I've been tuning into some professional wrestling more sporadically than usual, I will say. I tuned into SmackDown there on Friday night after I got home from my brother's birthday party. Happy birthday. Well, belated, I guess, birthday, Parker. But I've tuned into that. I watched a little bit of Collision, just caught some highlights here this morning while I was getting some exporting done on the editing end. My dog goes psycho beside me. But I want to kick her off there with some SmackDown, because it's going to be a triple threat at the Royal Rumble. We've got Randy Orton, we've got AJ Styles, we've got LA Knight.
Yeah.
There we go. Jeez. Mike letting me down. Mars and Thickness were here. They would have They would have supported me on that one. For the number one contendership to the Universal Undisputed WWE Heavyweight Winged Big Gold Belt Championship. I wanted to start there because I think it's going to be one hell of a match. We're starting to build into Rumble season, and I wanted to kickstart the Rumble talk overall. But with that being so far, I think the only announced match for it, figured it was a good place to start. But there's no doubt that Randy Orton is going to be challenging Roman Reigns at the Rumble, right? A lot of R's in that sentence. A lot of alliteration this morning on my end of things.
I have no idea. I basically just watch their pay-per-views.
Well, come on, Michael from Indeed.
I know, it's crazy. The independent wrestling guy doesn't watch SmackDown on Friday. He doesn't watch any televised wrestling on Friday nights, and he either goes out to local shows or watches independent wrestling on Fridays.
Fine, then I'll put you on the spot here in a bit. Lawrence, then. I know you do.
It's that face off at the end of SmackDown, or with all three of them just throwing hands, like, definitely reminded me of like that. Like, I'm not saying exactly like this, but like it gave me a flashback to like when like Austin, Rock, and Angle were all feuding. Like, it's three of the biggest stars, just like baby faces going at it, trying to be the one to defeat the big heel. Like,
also, when did AJ Styles get so goddamn jacked?
Oh, yeah.
Realistically, like, he wasn't gone a crazy amount of time. Like, Randy Orton was gone for 18 months, right?
Yeah.
You have to
3
expect
months.
it's somewhat tradition now in WWE that all of these guys come back and they're like FU size, you know what I mean? But like, how long was Styles gone? A few weeks? A few months. I don't want to undersell anything, but like,
yeah. Like,
long enough to both bulk and then get it all cut to nice muscle.
Yeah.
Which, of course, Mike, I'm sure that all three of us here can speak to. I know that I certainly can speak to a dedicated fitness regimen.
Oh,
to cover up my dedicated fitness regimen.
I am a master bulker and an amateur cutter.
I quite like that. Well, fine. I said I was going to put you on the spot. The other big news coming out of the week, Rip, get down, you weird little dude.
I know where.
The other big news of the week, there's a world tour coming to professional wrestling.
Yeah.
There is, and I've got tickets to go to one of the dates.
Let's go.
Ali, how many dates ended up getting announced? I think it was 12 dates he's been announced for, 3 specifically Canadian, at least from what I remember on the world tour poster. But Ali getting out there amongst, of course, a bevy of free agents.
There's a lot of dates that he's got. It's pretty insane. He's starting in France, which is cool. First match is in Paris, France, against actually a dude who I'm really interested because I saw him like wrestle speedball in a speedball blog, and I'm like, oh, that guy's cool, and that's who Mustafa Ali is wrestling over there. So I'm like,
what's his name?
It's so French. I can't.
Okay.
It's
I understand. My French pronunciation for years was send it to Lawrence.
I'll put it in the private chat.
Send it to our French correspondent Lawrence Cartier.
Here you go. The first word's not French, but aigle blanc. Aigle blanc. Aigle blanc. It's aigle blanc. That's it. I remember Brisbane people. It's aigle blanc.
Okay.
There we go. I appreciate you. Thank you, French correspondent Lawrence Cartier.
Yeah.
Mange la merde.
But so they're like.
I didn't say anything. I said Spencer is the best.
Oh, good. Thank you, Lawrence.
Vive le Québec libre.
My name sounds different in French.
But yeah, he's got like GCW in Chicago against Gringo Loco, which is crazy because it's like hometown Gringo Loco, hometown Mustafa Ali, Talia Hall, Chicago. That's, those dudes are gonna destroy that building, that ring. And then I get to see Gringo Loco, Jack Cartwheel, and Mustafa Ali in a 3-way match at the Mandalucha in Toronto. That's gonna be cool. He's all over the place. It's
progress
insane.
Against Speedball.
Prestige against Speedball. Progress.
Prestige. There we go. Thank you very much.
Progress against.
I was trying to put them over, man. and I
Progress
screwed it
is
up.
against
And I'm
Leon
sorry,
Slater, which
everyone.
is also going to be crazy though. If you've ever seen Leon Slater wrestle before, then like him and Mustafa Ali is going to be also
It's going to be a
bananas.
blast. I really, really like the way that this was approached, having like a bunch of opponents announced all at once. You know, there's a lot of different ways to sort of skin the proverbial cat, to use a wrestling pun with it. Haha.
For sure.
But there's a lot of ways. There's a lot of ways to skin the proverbial cat, and you know, there are some people who've maybe been a little bit more understated. You know, Dolph Ziggler, Nick Nemeth. I believe he's only been announced for the one match down there for the CMLL, if I remember right. I know it's in Mexico. I may be getting the promotion wrong there.
Yeah.
Matt Riddle heading to MLW.
Yeah.
Shelton Benjamin just putting out a video of him waking up as a dinosaur from Jurassic Park, which automatically, and lots of love to everybody else, but automatically makes Shelton Benjamin my favorite so far.
He was Godzilla.
Yeah.
Same thing. They're all
not a
the same thing.
He's
sort of things.
the king of the monsters.
Yeah.
He's Godzilla. Anyway,
I really want to see Godzilla -1. That's movie's supposed to be very, very good.
I actually, and shout out to the Buckingham, I won passes to go see Iron Claw, so I've got to message them back on Instagram. I found that out while I was getting myself prepped here for the old. I don't know what happens, obviously.
everyone's going to know everything about that movie before I ever get a chance to see it.
Yeah, I'm going on Tuesday because it's
Ooh,
Boxing Day.
coffee.
And
Thank you, child.
I don't work, and it's cheap Tuesday too, so I get cheap tickets.
Oh, excellent!
Yeah,
excellent call.
So I'm gonna go.
I think I've got a Cineplex gift card. If anybody's looking for a last-minute Christmas present for me, a Cineplex gift card would be very helpful for my going to see Iron Claw endeavor. I rarely go to the movies, to be honest with you. I want to go eventually and check out like pay-per-view at a movie theater. I've got a Landmark Cinemas right by my place. It's just so damn expensive. Any movies are. Yeah. That's not a Landmark specific. That's not a slag Landmark Cinemas. In fact, it could be a compliment if you'd like to sponsor us.
We're witnessing coffee cross my lips for the first time all day right now, and
congratulations!
I feel so good already.
3 seconds later, Mike flips the table like the Hulk. Yeah.
Unbeknownst to everybody, I have got my 2-mug system going, but I have 2 of the same coffee mug. It's a ruse.
So
poison both of them by accident.
Yes. Poison. I've been slowly building up an immunity. Princess Brett. What the hell?
Someone's poisoned the water hole.
Because I'm having a good time. You want to come have a good time too, pup? No. Yes, you can. An event. We're gonna go for WALK. Didn't have enough time this morning. I blame all of my issues here in the last couple of days on Pokemon. It's just so good, really is. However, Mustafa Ali obviously not going everywhere and not the only free agent. Mike, again, I'll turn to you. Who are you excited to see? There were a lot of individuals, like I said, as part of that list who, cliche, but are going to make some waves. They're going to do some really cool shit. There we go. They're going to do some really cool shit on the independents out there.
Also
I'll
some
pull
other
up a
ones,
full list here while you're. I was going to say.
So some other ones who have already kind of shown up and done some stuff. Top Dollar AJ Francis showed up at GCW's Holiday Bash on the 21st and attacked Joey Janela. They have a match in Tampa next month. He's probably going to show up a bunch of places. A lot of people are ragging on him, which based on his WWE stuff, knowing what he was going through health wise and his ability to maintain any kind of fitness level during. Yeah. It's just kind of in hindsight, it's just unfair to really I feel bad. I feel bad. I'm going into this with all optimism that he's gonna actually just make a lot of people eat humble pie. Hopefully.
Yeah.
I think that's a really good way to put it. Is I'm real hopeful for him. I really am because again, take everything in context and everything with the asterisk. Of course, you find out everything he was going through afterwards. But coming back to the WWE, personally, wasn't a huge fan of the run itself, for lack of a better way to put it. So
the thing for me too, when I look at anyone who's coming out of that environment too, is what are they going to do when they have the chance to do what they want to do?
Attack Joey Janela. Is the Mike that was answered, dude.
Yeah, absolutely. But I
He's
mean,
gonna go
like,
beat up Joey. He's gonna go and
Yes.
beat up Joey Janela on December 21st.
yes.
Evidently, there was a plan. There was a schematic, a scheme.
But also, Mason D. Madden and Mansoor have been doing so much fun stuff already since
Were they released before everybody else for some
No,
reason? Because they started showing everywhere up. Was it DPW they showed up with like a month ago? Little less than that?
They showed up at DPW, and the tweet that they put out when the video came out was 81 days was good enough for us. They just showed up 9 days early at DPW. I don't know if they, found a way out of their 90-day or if they just said, fuck it. I've got them on Indeed at the end of January, so I'll find out.
Nice little plug. I appreciate that.
Nice little plug. But yeah, they showed up at DPW. They're gonna wrestle West Coast Wrecking Crew at DPW. And they've got announcements not only as a tag team, but Mansoor, because so Mansoor wrestled independently as both Big Money Manny and Manny Favorino for quite a while before getting signed to WWE. Yep. So he's got a lot of solo announcements I've seen. He's going back to Hood Slam, which is somewhere where he had a big character, a big character, and was quite popular there. Which I think is cool, and I really think the dynamic of Mason being with him is awesome, because Mason is actually somebody who's the bulk of his career was WWE Performance Center product. So not a huge the independent experience for him is now. But
he is proof that I never want to take. He is proof I never want to take an F5, because he turned into an entirely different human being after that.
Exactly. But I think they have this cool dynamic where it's one of the tag partners is an experienced independent, veteran, you could almost say, or at least he's, spent some time in the scene. And then you have his partner who's he's like a baby duck in water for the first time. And I want to know what his reaction to Hood Slam is going to be. Because he's already just kind of getting his feet wet with independent wrestling anyway. So to see all of these, promotions that are running a relatively similar kind of show, and then to go to a place like Hood Slam has got to be what?
Night and day.
Yeah, that's such a crazy environment.
Guitar pedal in my rug right now.
Immediately when they're giving tequila to everyone in the front row.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's don't bring your effing kids.
Yeah.
Honestly, so they've also got announcements for Big Gay Brunch, the GCW Tampa show as well. They're all over the place. Haven't really seen a lot of announcements for many other people yet, but there's so many people on that list where I'm
man,
I have the list here. I'm
Shelton
an investigative journalist.
I would love to see Shelton Benjamin get some wrestling matches in with some people, but it's very, very likely, I'm sure, that he'll work somewhere again, in a backstage presence at least.
So the list from the September 21st releases would be Mustafa Ali, Dolph Ziggler, Nick Nemeth, Matt Riddle, Shelton Benjamin, Emma, Tennille Dashwood, Elias, and I would have to assume Ezekiel, Top Dollar, Masay, Mansoor, Aaliyah, Dana Brooke, and someone who I've got to pull up the exact clip, but Rick Boogs, and I think he showed up in New Japan under a mask. I can't remember who sent the tweet out, but I'm fairly certain he showed up. Shown up? Did something. That's the word I'm going to be using.
I feel like Rick Boogs could be good in the NWA. I feel like that probably should be his land. I feel like he'd work out there. Good and bad.
I'm going to choose my words carefully.
Yeah.
I think much like a lot of people, he would do well in the NWA in spite of the NWA.
Yeah.
That's a
but yes, I'm
that's the best way to put it. There are a lot of talented people there. There are a lot of people that I enjoy watching wrestle. I don't know, man. It's certainly a platform going through a changing time or a time
Yeah.
of change right now. That's a better way to put it. I'm trying to be kind. There's a lot of good people there, man, but it's
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the person I'm like legitimately most excited for
it is a wrestling promotion.
it is a wrestling. Yeah,
It is a wrestling promotion.
Yep.
You know what I'm really excited for in 2024? TNA.
Mhm.
Every time I see like an announcement or anything coming up from them, I'm just like, oh.
Yeah. It's like a big,
and they've already been
like,
they've already been doing it like as Impact for the better part of most of this. Like they've really been ramping up and
Hard to Kill. It's got an excellent card already from what, and I'll pull that up too because like let's actually speak to it. But Hard to Kill looks excellent. Like I'm genuinely curious as to who their signing is. There's a lot of really good free agents out there. Don't get me wrong, but they're touting this as one of the biggest signings in history. You're the problem. It's you.
It's me. I'm signing up for their subscription service as soon as it's available. That's their signing.
Boo! Boo this man.
Tomato.
Excited for it. I'm really excited for Hard to Kill. Like the only thing for me, and you know, it probably is ignorance on my end of things. Is it's tough to find them. Like it's not a really traditionally televised program. Like I can't find them on my satellite, for lack of a better way to find it, and that's the biggest.
That's why I think the subscription service is gonna help fix that a lot.
Well, that's where I was going. I was just trying to stumble my way through saying like right now it's not personally easily accessible, I guess is the best way to put it. But yeah, they're doing a great job. I'm very I'm intrigued. I have no idea who it could be. They've and I would have to assume, just rightfully so, that like, you know, they've already announced Okada's going to be there. Ergo, I don't think he's their big signing because they've already announced those as two separate things, right? Like
Okada's here. Oh, also Okada's the signing.
I hope Okada comes out in the mask. I just hope he comes out and like just rips off his entirely old TNA outfit because this is his first time back since then, if I remember right.
True. Yeah, just have him like,
come out in the mask.
It's like the Cody Rhodes smashing the throne at Double or Nothing.
Yes, that's exactly what it is.
Okada coming
the
out.
Symbolic shedding of the gimmick.
I'm
I'm excited for him to be there.
I'm for it.
Rip high. Yep, it's going to be a hell of a card. They've been doing a great job. TNA as a whole has been doing a great. Well, Impact to be known as TNA.
Yeah.
Even just their re-signings, right? PCO is back. Brian Myers is back. They just signed Danny Leo, if I remember correctly. Like just announced, I should say. I know she was on program
Danny
a
Luna.
little bit, but
Danny Luna.
There we go. Thank you.
Danny Leo's IWS.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Look, there's more than one Danny. You can't blame me.
Yeah.
I can't be 100% accurate.
They just signed Danny Trejo from his time as the front row of Lucha Underground.
Look, if Danny Trejo's showing up, I'm probably there. I was
Speaking
he
of
showed
Lucha
up for
Underground-
AEW, if I remember right.
Speaking of Lucha Underground, if you'd like to watch that, you can you can follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/Mike from Indeed, where I am streaming season 1 through 4.
There were only 4 seasons, so you're streaming all of Lucha Underground.
Yes, I am streaming all of Lucha.
And
I'm streaming the 1st through 4th season.
Yes.
And the exclusive 5th season, which is just Mike reenacting it with his hands.
There were actually some specials as well that I do have, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make it all up, and then I'm gonna just act it out on camera like two wrestlers calling a match to each other.
Yeah.
Sounds like a bad time.
Yeah.
It's gonna be horrible.
Seasons 1 through 4, excellent time. Season 5, gas leak here.
Season 5, it was like those last 2 seasons of Game of Thrones. They just never should have done it.
I never watched Game of Thrones. I'm happy I didn't. In retrospect, a lot of people seem very dissatisfied. I couldn't imagine, and I'm saying this as an Edmonton Oilers fan, but I couldn't imagine being that invested in something for that amount of years with such consistent disappointment.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? Honestly,
Again,
that's
you can
like
see where my tie-in comes in there.
That's like I I live in the province of Ontario. I've got 2 teams to pick from for that same kind of feeling.
And for very different reasons. That's almost the worst part. It's not like they're both good and bad in the playoffs. Like one team's not very good.
No, one team
good and bad in the playoffs.
So one team, yeah, exactly. You got one team that's amazing all year, and then they just shit the bed notoriously in the first round. And then you have another team that's like shouldn't even make it there. And some years they make it there, and then they go on this like Cinderella run to the conference finals, and then they break your heart and you cry for like a whole hour after the game because that's your favorite hockey team, unfortunately.
Yeah, we're gonna need to, by the way, like start to have a count of how many times I have to yell at Rip. He's eating a guitar cable now.
Oh,
aren't you? You jerk.
Oh no.
Well, he looks at me every time I yell at him, and he stops. I shouldn't even say yell. I don't say yell. I was stern with him because he needs to stop eating my stuff. If he's gonna eat anything, he should have eaten it a couple of days ago. So at the very least, I could like let people know what I needed for Christmas.
Did any of you watch Collision last night?
I did not. I've watched some of the highlights of her, but
okay.
haven't had a chance to like sit down and watch it yet.
Dan Garcia versus Brody King.
That's what I heard. I'm going to watch it probably after this.
Heard that was fantastic, and I heard Danielson and Claudio. Surprise!
Opening
Please
with
stop
Danielson.
me if you've heard this before. Brian Danielson had an excellent professional wrestling match.
Yeah, Claudio had a great professional wrestling match as well. Like they need neither. The whole tournament, it's like you look at everyone who's in there. It's like, okay, well, there's not really going to be like a bad match that happens anywhere here.
Yeah.
They all have like the floor of being probably pretty good.
Credit to them because that whole tournament was perfectly booked. Like going into this week and having all the drama going into that final, like one of the final days, where like there was like 1,000 different scenarios that could easily break out.
Yeah,
like you don't know quite, and everyone's sort of like a believable winner too. Like you could see them putting the titles on Brody King. You could see like, and like you've got Daniel Garcia who is having his own amazing story about like he's becoming a new character through the tournament, and like and it's like fun, especially that he's after every loss, and they were like all close losses where he went these like really fun matches and then like, earned the crown of respect.
And then he actually, gets his 3 points last night with the win on Brody King too.
Yeah,
which huge of all the people for him to beat, the guy who's like, 3 times the size of him is
a literal monster.
Yeah,
he's like an angry version of James P. Sullivan.
It was kind of I liked with the Dynamite League too.
Nothing for the fact he looks like he's from Monsters Inc. Wow, tough crowd today.
Sorry.
Oh, Monsters Inc. That's cinematic classic.
The coffee.
It is a cinematic. Like, that's a whole. That's gonna. You know what? I was joking there, Lauren. This is an entirely different debate. If we're gonna have a different.
I actually like Monsters Inc. I haven't watched Monsters University though.
That most sequels,
I haven't,
and I will say, really, the Shrek series is the only like comparable sequels. Yeah. Like Shrek 2 is as good as Shrek 1.
So here's the thing. If you want a controversial opinion, I'm sorry for not picking up on your Monsters Inc. reference because I do love the movie.
You're gonna start. Do you want a controversial opinion with an apology?
I'm starting a controversial opinion with an apology, but the reason I'm saying I'm sorry I didn't get your Monsters Inc. reference is because honestly, I think Monsters Inc. the first one as a standalone film better than any other Pixar film. It's my favorite one.
I don't know if that's controversial.
Yeah,
I have time for that. I have time for that argument.
There are some Toy Story nostalgists who will, get really mad at you for that one, and also I found out that Up has a fan base through that opinion.
Yeah, Up's
got a big fan base.
I have like a big emotional connection to Up and like Coco too. Coco as well, like knocked me on my ass. As like somebody who's dealt with a lot of death growing up, and that movie was also just straight up beautiful.
Yeah,
but those like two are like probably my 2 favorite Pixar ones. Yes, I respect your opinion. Like I also really love Monsters Inc. when you get like, especially like first watching it as a kid. Like that movie was really fun.
Good. Now back to the Continental Classic.
Yes. No, no, we should do the Continental Classic of Pixar movies.
Oh,
bracketology?
God.
Yeah.
Game
Yeah.
on.
Yeah,
Game
can
on.
we, can,
Hey,
can we
Tom.
hear this?
Tom Talks Rubbish.
Tom?
Happy
Happy
holidays,
holidays,
friends. Good to see you, homie. Thanks for tuning in. Hope your holidays are great. It's got to be, what, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock for you right now on Christmas Eve?
6:30
enjoy it.
p.m.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, plus 5.
That's math ain't my strong suit. But the Continental Classic, man, it's really felt like a return to the roots for AEW.
Yeah.
I've said this a couple of times, like, and not really entirely through their fault, but like since Brawl Out and leading up to All In and CM Punk's release really being sort of the bow on it, like, man, there was a cloud over AEW. No matter how good Punk is doing for WWE right now, and I love Punk, but like the guy he couldn't stay. Like, you just couldn't. Yeah. And since then, it feels like AEW is slowly getting, again, like a return to the roots is the best way that I can put it. The Continental Classic's been great. It's really seemed like it's been all about just what AEW was right off the bat. There's a lot of story driven. There are a lot of stories to every match and a lot of tournament results. But like, shit, man, it's just great wrestling. It really, really is.
Yeah,
exactly.
And that's what they need to get back to, because frick, in the best of ways, I don't mean this as a slag, but like, you're not an alternative to WWE anymore in the sense that like, you want great matches, you're going to get it out of WWE as well too. Like, this is the most talented time in wrestling history. It just is.
Absolutely. And like, even looking, something I've noticed this week, I've because of all these like releases and the hype on Mustafa Ali, like I've seen more people talking about wanting to watch independent wrestling. Some of these Mustafa Ali matches and stuff. January, actually, perfect example. The show I'm going to, I had a friend come over on Friday, which is another reason I didn't watch any wrestling. Was reconnected with a friend I haven't seen, since the pandemic really kind of happened, and started, they're like, what's all this, podcasting and, going to shows and stuff. Started talking about that. And their first wrestling show is going to be that Demand Lucha show with Cartwheel versus Gringo versus Ali, which it circles back to the Bryan Danielson thing of, if you show somebody good, excellent professional wrestling, they'll fall in love with it. And that's my hope now is I'm gonna take a friend to this show in January, and we're gonna leave, and they're gonna be like, when's the next one?
Yeah. I do not believe in trickle down economics, but like professional wrestling as far as a fandom goes is certainly like a trickle down economy, because like you say, if people see, and it's unfortunate sometimes when it's coming through releases, but like the best way to put it is if you're ever going to get released in professional wrestling, well, you better hope it's now, because the indies have never been better than they are right now, right?
Yep.
And there's people seeing, like you say, an Ali or a Nick Nemeth or like a Dana Brooke. You think that someone who's not in front of 1 million, 2 million, 3 million people a week isn't going to bring new eyes to a product, right? Like, I really, really think that professional wrestling benefits if WWE and AEW, say Impact, Ring of Honor, any of those sort of major second promotions, like, people are tuning in more than ever. They're going to start to want to go more than ever. And through touring schedules, it's usually a lot easier to find a local independent than it is to wait, speaking as a Canadian, a year for WWE or AEW to come back to YUG or anything like that. And they're coming up here more than ever now. It's a great thing. Look at this asshole.
Speaking of releases, speaking of Impact, someone we mentioned
Hold
on
on
that
just
list.
for a sec. Like, look at this dude. He's like a friggin' parrot right now.
Oh,
just
Rick.
sort of hanging out. Also, this is our family picture from when I was about 11. It's
got that caricature, right? Okay.
Yeah, I looked awful. I still look awful, but I used to too.
Damn.
It is what it is. We got a couple of minutes before we're going to tune in to some Travis Williams versus T.Y. Jackson. So if there's anything you all want to chat about from the week, the month, the upcoming year in professional wrestling, we'll do a more formal year recap stream on Brunch here next Sunday. I believe it's December 30th, if my math's right. 31st.
Yeah.
Oh, it is New Year's. Oh, Mimosa's next
Eve.
Mimosa's next week on Brunch. Oh, very exciting.
I'll get
Huzzah.
Oh my God, Lawrence.
I just saw that name change. It's like, why does name just get longer? What's the other 10%?
Oh, sadness.
Oh.
I wore this and I knew this was a possibility, but I am incredibly sweaty.
The worst part is
Yeah.
it's the happiest time of year. So normally you wonder how much is it less underboob sweat for more sadness. Hello, Rip.
Yeah.
That makes.
I went with the toque, and then I was like, you know what? Let's put some shorts on because I know we need to offset here. If we keep the pajama pants, if I keep the pajama pants on, I too will be 90% under boob sweat.
Yeah.
My office is my coldest room in my house. It actually works pretty excellently for this sort of stuff. I'm in a sweater, feeling comfortable. See, I showered, but I admittedly I got behind, and I was going to shower and walk the dog, and I definitely showered. So we're going to be going for a good long stroll after this.
Yeah. Speaking of mimosas, what also isn't helping is the coffee and the Baileys that I've been having, which is like about to expire. I saw like it's got 3 months left on it.
You have to drink a full bottle of Baileys before it curdles.
Before the end of this stream. Let's see
like
what happens, friends.
Sounds like a fantasy football punishment. That sounds horrible.
That sounds horrible.
Yeah. Sounds absolutely terrible.
I got this. Yeah, you had.
I don't even like generally like. I don't like cream in my coffee generally. So like even having a Baileys in coffee is like usually a 1 or maybe a 2 and done.
I'm an exclusively a cold coffee beverage guy now. Ever since I got a.
Why must you be so contrary?
It's because we got
refreshing.
We got a coffee maker that has an over ice function on it, and it has.
You can technically put any coffee over ice.
Yeah, no, but this will actually brew it at a lower temperature, so it doesn't it's just iced coffee. Like I just get to drink iced coffee every day.
Why can't you just drink just strong black coffee like bitter old me?
I'm with Mike. I'm very much like my coffee is what the temperature is outside. Second it gets like springtime, I am pretty much iced coffees till it's like the temperature dies like to 0 and below.
Oh no, it's December 24th today, and those are the ice cubes in my coffee.
Like I literally had an iced coffee a few weeks ago too. Like it was a little warmer. I might have an iced coffee instead of like it needs to be like fairly cold for me to have like a.
I got the heat.
I'll just get a Slurpee. I'll just get a Slurpee at that point, boys. Like I gotta be blunt with it. There's no point in an iced coffee for me. There's not. I don't need a cold coffee.
It is refreshing.
I'm already like over prepping so that I don't have to drink a cold coffee during these streams. I've been made fun of all year. Fred, like I would like to think it's pretty evident at this point that cold coffee ain't my jam. I'll just go get a Slurpee if I'd like a cold beverage. Or perhaps a Coca-Cola or an orange juice for mornings most of the time.
All right. We could go on about this, but we are
going to.
The cold versus hot coffee war is on now.
I'm very, very frustrated with all of this. There's no sense, in my personal humble opinion. Look, I'm not saying you're wrong for liking cold coffee. I'm just saying I'm right for not liking it.
I'm in the middle of both of you. It is a.
Oh, boo! That's even worse.
That's why you should vote for me for president.
Oh God, no! Boo.
I am right in the middle. I have no opinions.
Boo.
I'm gonna take the passive hippie approach here of, hey man, just like what you like.
Yeah.
If you like your hot coffee, that's cool. I like my iced coffee. That's also cool. We both get our caffeine in different ways. Let's just be happy caffeinated bros. We don't have to disagree on whose temperature coffee is the right way or the wrong way. There is no right way or wrong way, much like there is no right way or wrong way to wrestle.
I'm fucking right.
Suck it, nerd.
The bowling contest is scheduled for one fall.
There we go. I'll cut it right off. I said I was right. See, this is what happens when you can't press buttons. As always, let me know in the comments section if it's too loud or too quiet or anything of that sort. But this was our opening contest from last month's LPW 21, the Chain Wrestling. Travis Williams defending his defending the LPW Challenge Championship for the very first time against T.Y. Jackson. Happy birthday, T.Y. Christmas Eve, baby. Judge Ben Omen, excellent referee. This was his first time refereeing since LPW 9, but even then, LPW 9, it was part of like a ruse with him and Mitch Clark. So he hasn't refed full time since LPW. Well, it would have been 4 because he did ref a couple of matches before that. But this was a blast.
Williams, the professional, going to make his first defense of his newly won LPW Challenge Championship. And he has a tall order in his first defense.
Oh man, I'm so happy that the first thing I'm doing this morning is watching a Travis Williams match. This is a great way to start a weekend.
Yeah.
It's a good way to start a day, most of the time, to be honest with you. Like, Rep, I don't know what is happening here. Stop. Stop. Okay, settle. You can hang out, but you cannot be jumping. New theme music for TY as well with this one. And just a stud. Like, he's a guy that I really, really hope and I'll always advocate for. And, Rep, just get down. I'll always advocate for, like, if he starts to make his way and gets the opportunity to start making his way out to BC or Ontario or sort of wherever gives him the chance to, like, he'll deliver every time. I'm gonna put my dog in his crate.
He's originally from Toronto too.
Yeah, I don't know if he wrestled out there because I think he moved here when sort of mid-teens. But
I hear it on his announcement though, so like, cool of him to still claim the area.
Still rep the 6.
Yeah,
That's what the kids say, right? I don't know. Cool.
I always like hearing that when people move and they kind of still keep their old keep their old hometown. It's like with Ethan Page, he gets announced as from Hamilton specifically, and not just he didn't like just default to Toronto like everyone else who like from the area around here who gets.
That's the one. That's the one thing I don't love about Kenny Omega's North Carolina is come on, man.
Just say Winnipeg.
You are not from North Carolina. You are by way of North Carolina.
Yeah.
But I'm just selfishly gonna always advocate for a good Canadian bite.
I did notice though, Sean Spears. We'll say Sean Spears does get introduced as from Niagara Falls, Ontario, still, which is great because he's the best thing from Niagara Falls, Ontario. Now that Marineland's been canceled.
I dropped my microphone. My apologies. I'm very
Everyone loved Marineland.
Place I go in Ontario.
Oh, look at me. We can see Mike's face.
And the story goes. I don't remember the rest of the lyrics. Everyone loves Marineland.
I thought you were singing Little Saint Nick for a second.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna ruin everybody's earbuds. You just did.
That was the voice of 100 angels singing all at once. You're all welcome, and all owe me $30.
Lawrence has the voice of 100 angels, and I have the voice of 99 Luft balloons.
Show of respect between the professional and
I couldn't think of another.
Yeah.
I think I could numbered song right off the bat.
It's okay.
Assisted Travis Williams.
We'll go with it.
Fun fact about the Marineland song: there was actually an extended commercial with a second verse.
Clean break from the challenger.
Yeah. Sort of like,
I will say it's not as good as the Chili's baby back ribs commercial.
Nothing is. That's like,
but that's
like
maybe
one
just
of- that's like one of the all-time jingles.
yeah,
If
the
you ever
behind
seen
the
the
scenes.
I
yeah,
was
but
going
the-
to say.
Yeah, the like 4 guys just jamming out, like knowing they just like dropped a banger.
On the line as well. Scramble championship on the line.
Fun fact. Okay, Peggy.
Larry gonna make his first defense of that very LPW Grand.
It's just not as fun as if there was like a second verse of the baby back ribs song where they like maybe sang about mashed potatoes or coleslaw.
Of a clean
Oh,
break.
hello, Phil.
Like if they were like,
In the chat.
like if they were just straight up like, and we also want our
Packed house here at the Rec
mashed
Room
potato. I can't think of another.
T.Y. Jackson.
I don't know. That's why I didn't sing on it. Actually, I was invited, but I asked you to contribute lyrics. So, I was tough.
Greco-Roman knucklelock into the test of strength.
Navy beans, maybe. I don't know.
Challenger.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's not even a really good kind of bean. Anyway,
That left arm trying to hyperextend it over the
I've really
shoulder.
loved these kinds of matches. Like the Challenge Championship for about the last
Bringing it in.
probably 8-9 months has consistently opened the show, no matter whether it was Son of Irish, no matter whether it was Travis. Even Taryn would usually open a show with it. But you know you're always going to get a banger. It's always going to be like a real quick, high-paced opener. But like they're all wildly different.
Handful of hair from the
And I've quite enjoyed that. Like this compared to Son of Irish with Artemis Spencer, compared to, you know, his match against The Thickness, compared to the upcoming one against Zoe Sager. You know, I know that Travis and Zoe wrestled for the Grand Championship a couple of months ago, but even then, like, it's going to be an absolute thriller in the... Gotta find something. Gotta find something. The Oil Rumble's good, but you can't rhyme it really.
Over the back, nicely
Rip, you
done.
need to
Great
settle.
show of athleticism.
Yeah, there's not really like a
Waistlock out on
any
the-
Nothing
kind of
rhymes with
syn-
Edmonton.
Yeah, there's
Nothing
no
rhymes with
synonyms-
Edmonton.
There's no synonyms for like a battle or a fight that rhyme with Edmonton at all.
No, none.
Keep your
None.
eyes on TY as he takes to
Oh.
the sky into the front row.
Gotta love it. And gotta love Big Bad Boris on commentary, too.
Two rows are full contact.
There aren't very many, just in my personal opinion, guys who are very good at doing like individual commentary, mostly because it's difficult.
It's so hard.
It's really difficult to do. Big Bad Boris, though, is the best in the business, in my opinion. Like, another guy that I really hope starts to get some more opportunities. There are a lot of promotions out there, whether you're looking Alberta or otherwise, that could really use some great commentary. And not to knock what other people have right now, but Boris is so damn good. I really like that.
Travis Williams pleading his case. Hard
Also,
tumble
shout
on
out to
that
the Rec
solid
Room providing
stage
a Christmas
area.
tree.
And now vertical
Oh.
suplex up on the stage.
I will never understand, and full credit to him, but like, bumping in a ring seems hard enough. Nonetheless, the people who've done it on the stage, like,
Yeah.
Mars has been thrown off the top rope onto that piece of concrete. And that, I will 100% vouch, that is, shoot, 100% concrete. It's usually a concert stage.
That's wild.
Yeah,
Wait, so
like-
their stage is like just a poured concrete slab?
Pretty well, yeah.
That's
Like, it's not
fucking
hollowed
gnarly.
out or anything like that, yeah.
Oh my god. Also, stable as shit though. I'd love to play like as,
Oh, yeah.
as a drummer who has played on some dicey stages
Some
before.
flimsy areas.
Some drum risers that my drum set could barely fit on.
Yeah. No, it's the Rec Room, and again, it's certainly a biased opinion in a lot of ways, but they're a fantastic venue. I've gone out and seen a couple of concerts there. Daniel Wesley, a personal favorite of mine. I also, here's a fun one, I went and saw Darude at the Rec Room. This would have been like right.
Sandstorm Darude?
Yes, Sandstorm Darude. And tickets were like
Amazing.
$20. I have no problem, because most bars you want to go out to on a Friday or Saturday,
It's
it's
your
like a
cover
$15,
anyway.
$20 cover. Exactly. So I'll pay $20 to go and
You
listen to
might
that
as well
one
spend
song.
you might as well spend the cost of 2 drinks on seeing some cool entertainment with your drinks.
It was a blast. I also went, one of my favorite, you know when you see those concerts come up that are like, who's someone you've seen that everyone's jealous of? And everybody starts throwing people that I'm genuinely jealous of. I, Spencer Love, went by myself to see Carly Rae Jepsen open for Hanson the week that Call Me Baby came out for $10 at Festival Place here in Sherwood Park.
I'd love to go.
Yeah,
see
I'll give
Carly
you all a
Rae.
minute to recover.
Yeah.
Look, so seeing Hanson, you know, just for the 90s nostalgia vibes, that I'd be so down. But then, I want to see the thing is, I want to see Carly Rae Jepsen like now in 2023 because I actively listen to all of her music.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
she rules.
she's flawless. Carly Rae
Yeah.
Jepsen is our Canadian queen.
Yeah. Yeah, you're a treasure, Carly Rae Jepsen. If you like wrestling,
grinding
Yeah.
that fist in. That ribbon
This
there.
is way too much right now.
Torque on the shoulder and on the elbow.
Like one of the
This is why-
like
All of his body weight.
probably the only person to make it out of like Canadian Idol,
Victory.
like easily the most famous person to ever.
Well, it
He
was
won
the guy
thing.
from Headley until it really
Oh
wasn't.
yeah.
That hurt just looking
Oof.
And rightfully,
Yeah.
really wasn't.
Wasn't.
Let's stress the rightfully on that.
Oh,
It was him
brothers.
until it wasn't.
Wasn't.
Yeah.
in a bad way.
Redacted.
And as Forrest Gump said, that's all I have to say about that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Travis gonna fire back with rights of his own. That
And
was
Headley
caught him in
sucked
the eye.
anyways.
Yeah.
I don't even think that's controversial to say.
Exchanging shots in the center of the ring.
That band gives me like PTSD because I had a who was obsessed with them, so like I got dragged,
Blocked that kick.
and by drag I mean I got like puppy-eyed into buying so many fucking tickets to see that band, and I
Oh.
got dragged to see them every fucking time.
Like what I like really disliked about him was like, yeah, of course he's a douchebag. He was always a douchebag, like on the red carpets. But he's like, look how wild we are. We're not like other bands. We do crazy shit, and it's like always so fluid. It's like
You're Headley.
you're forcing
Let's
this
just
to
get real here, you guys. You're Headley. You're not even Hinder levels of cool.
Y'all don't got that lips of an angel.
That being said,
Yeah.
not many bands are Hinder levels of cool. Hinder rock. Their first
Yeah.
album was actually
Yeah.
pretty good.
Shout out Puff.
As I
Yeah.
mentioned before,
Love you,
can
Puff.
hear me, we have an absolute
Shout out
stellar
Hinder,
lineup
too.
of action
Every time
tonight.
hearing the name of the band Hinder automatically just
Yeah.
my brain associates with Puff now because
Normally for me, it's Jinder Mahal.
he sings "Lips of an Angel" at least once, like every time we play Fortnite. So it's
Good.
yeah.
Our main event against Michael Richard Blaze. We're gonna see who gets that big title.
Nature
match
is
at Rock
healing.
Place.
You can't be like in a voice call with him for more than an hour and not hear
Could be a short reign.
an acapella of "Lips of an Angel" and possibly also some Creed.
I need to find a way to see Creed next year.
Mm.
I think they're in Toronto, aren't they?
T.Y.
Probably.
Jackson entering another frame of mind.
I don't know. I
Was looking for that Z
did.
You
I
can't
did,
say you
I-
paid attention.
able to
No,
avoid
it's not that, but
impact.
it's before they announced their tour, I already did my like one major like couple $100 tickets concert.
You're coming to Edmonton?
No, I'm going to see my wife and I after 14 years of marriage are finally going to a concert together.
And there's that
Oh.
Z kick.
Oh, neat. What are you going to?
We're gonna go see Blink-182 in July. In
Oh,
July.
that's awesome.
They're a blast. You guys are gonna
They're,
have so much fun.
And yeah, it's one of the band like we have some overlapping taste in music, but like she's not a big fan of the heavier end of music, and so it's kind of one of those bands where it's like this is one that we
Close
both,
enough.
no,
It's
we
in the
both-
middle.
It's one that we both actually like fucking love.
Oh,
Yeah.
sick.
It's like top 10 favorite bands of all of our lives, kind of like, for both of us. So it's cool that that's going to be something we get to go see, and it'll be like the original 3-member lineup of all the albums we actively enjoyed the most.
Yeah.
But then
Man,
also
both
who
of
they're
these
with
guys are so
who they're
good.
with is crazy too, though, because it's they got Alexis on Fire with them.
Oh, shit.
So
Oh, neat.
This is how you start.
I'm like, all right, I haven't seen them in a long time.
No, they're playing together like less. I was gonna say not. They didn't break up. They're playing together less. Because like
Yeah.
City and Colors coming here, and they were just here, not just, but like within the last year as well.
I'm trying to
Creed's
remember
only
who else is on
Canadian
the
date is
tour.
Toronto, July 30th.
I think Pierce the Veil is the other band on that tour.
Oh, that's gonna be neat.
That's really cool too. Yeah. They replaced their problematic drummer with a drummer that I actually actively love. So
That's good.
yeah,
That's always a nice little positive.
Lone
I'm
Neil
supposed
Robinson's
to.
an
I think for
amazing
next year,
drummer.
the only concert tickets I've got right now, and I'm a little perturbed, our Metallica are coming here for their like 2-night stint at Commonwealth Stadium, but I thought it was a Thursday, Saturday, but it's a Friday, Sunday. And
Is it the
Friday,
last Friday of the month?
Yep, and
Oh,
that's the
no.
night that I bought the tickets for because Pantera's opening that night. And I love Metallica, don't get me wrong, but I've seen them a couple of times. I very obviously have never seen Pantera before. What with them not ever coming to Edmonton until this.
So you've seen Phil Anselmo and Rex Brown.
Which is fine by me, and Zach
Yeah.
Wild.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Zach Wild on guitars. Who plays drums in
Trying to
half,
remember.
in
I think it was the guy.
Pantera?
I think it was the guy from Anthrax, if I remember right.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right.
Pantera is currently.
I should know his name. I follow him on Instagram. He's a very funny. He's a funny. Dude.
Charlie Benante.
Charlie, but yes.
LPW Challenge Championship.
Charlie Benatti.
I don't know how they're both on their feet.
Sounds achingly close to Johnny Abadi, and I need to stop bringing Angela Anaconda up because it always gives me nightmares. It's like watching a scary movie before bed.
Charging the ropes and got caught with the
That was a
forearm.
weird show.
Angela Anaconda, I watched it all the time, but it is such nightmare fuel.
I wouldn't go back to it now. And I'm wondering why I ever liked it as a kid.
I can tell you I will never watch it again, but I can probably still sing the theme song to you.
See, I can't remember the theme song, but if you started to
My
sing it,
name's
I'd
Angela,
probably.
hey, hello. Welcome to my very own show. Yeah, I can. I don't want to. That's it. That's all you're getting.
That's all we need.
What the hell are they doing out here? Jack Pride, Thaddeus Archer.
I started
nowhere.
I realized I didn't watch the most recent season or two of The Boys, and I wanted to go back and watch
That makes
those.
two of us.
I wanted to go back and watch them, and I was like, well, shit, I don't really remember how we got there, so I've now just started watching the series all over again.
I have a friend who's recurring on there. Yeah,
Really?
Yeah, she plays the Deep's wife.
Oh, he wasn't married. Fuck, he wasn't even married last I
Oh.
watched that show, which is okay.
Yeah. Sorry.
Minor detail, I'm
Yeah.
sure, but hopefully nothing groundbreaking in the show stems from his marriage.
No, I did not spoil the big parts of that.
It's like a wrestling wedding.
Yeah.
Everything always goes right.
Real quick, while everything I say is endorsed by RK Athletics.
Whoa! Haha! There you are. Travis Williams retaining the LPW Challenge Championship against T.Y. Jackson. If you want more from Love Pro Wrestling, subscribe here on YouTube, youtube.com/LoveWrestlingCA, or head over to IWTV. Don't just subscribe for Love Pro. Subscribe for all of the great promotions they've got up there. It is the biggest library in independent wrestling. So make sure you check it out. It's $10 a month. It is relatively inexpensive, especially considering that, well, it's hi, Rip. Especially considering it's the holiday time. I know everyone's wallet is a little lighter right now, but it's worth the $1. Rip, you need to settle down right now.
I love me some IWTV library. It is. I spend so much time watching old indie shows off there. Yeah. Do that.
Yeah, I'm snapping and clapping at my dog so he settles down and stops biting my hand. Go to IWTV, independentwrestling.tv on your browser or the App Store. Friends, we've got one more brunch until the end of the year. We've got to figure out something good for next week. I think we gotta converse here on the old Slack machine. But for those of you who've been tuning in all year, thank you for tuning in to the penultimate edition of the Brunch Gimmick. Lawrence, you tell people where to find you first, whether it's online, whether it's on upcoming editions at Cheap Pop, or anything in between.
Yep, you can follow me at KurtzTheNDG on Instagram and Twitter and Threads. You can follow Cheap Pop Show. The newest episode just released. It's perfect to watch tomorrow morning or tonight. Christmas episode with Veda Scott. We talk a Muppet Family Christmas and frankly everything Muppets. It's a really, really fun time. And yeah, you can catch me here next week for the end of 23 wrap up of Brunch Gimmick.
Mike, we know you're tired, but if people want to pay attention when you're more awake, where can they?
Twitch.tv/Mike from Indeed. Mike from Indeed on like all social medias. But yeah, Twitch, I'm probably going to be live this afternoon watching some more Lucha Underground. So tune in for that. Wednesdays, every Wednesday, 6 p.m. Eastern time on the Fightful Overbooked YouTube channel. Righteous Reg and I, Indeed, interviewing anybody and everybody from around independent wrestling. This week, we're wrapping up the year with Mike Roch from Interspecies Wrestling and Sean Henderson. They're co-promoting this show at Restival called Slamtasia.
Cool.
So we're going to talk to them all about that. And then our January lineup is wild. Effie, BMD, Veda Scott, Mason and Mansoor. It's wild 2024 to start for us. So watch.
Please do, friends. Thank you for continuing to watch here on Love Wrestling CA. We got a lot of great stuff coming up this week. I've got an interview with Chelsea Green dropping, well, to be honest with you, in a couple of minutes here. I'm just going to finish up this stream and launch that and then take the pup for a walk. But if you want to tune in to any of our live programming here, whether it's on Twitch, whether it's on YouTube, whether it's on podcast players of choice, wherever audio is played, video is viewed, or awesome content is created by awesome people, you can find us at Love Wrestling CA. Over the next week, we're going to be revealing our LPW year-end award winners, so stay tuned for that, and make sure you pick up tickets to Love Pro Wrestling's upcoming 2024 events. Head to Ticketmaster if you want to pick up tickets for the Oil Rumble. Head to Tixr, TIXR.com/Love Wrestling if you want to pick up tickets for LPW 22. Rep. Jesus, you're biting now, you jerk. I almost got through that, and you're being a dick. Make sure you pick up your tickets, but most importantly, stay tuned. We got a lot of great content coming in the new year. For Mike, for Lawrence, and for me, Spencer Love. We'll see you next week, friends.